got a very, very special special presentation here. I'm super excited to have Lee Goff join us. Lee's been a friend of mine for a while now, and Lee has a ton of experience in the agency game. He's been around this for a long time, and we've got him to come on and share some of his special techniques in order to get new clients, new sales. And he's got the thing I love about Lee is his systems. What he does is incredible. So he builds this thing out so that it's long term and things are coming in. So Lee, before we jump into that, man, how about you give a little bit of background on you, what you've done in the past for our new people here.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, what we've done in the past, I don't know, we've done a lot of stuff, different groups and just different tools. I'm not even sure where to start. I built a business. I built an agency, started in 2003. Built that into a very large success. And I'm going to go into this a little more. I got to actually have a presentation today, so I feel all prepared, right? So and so we'll go through that in the presentation. And I sold that agency in 2016. Now since then, been creating a lot of tools. Got over 50 tools that we use, and I know I've been sharing a lot of those with you, and you've been helping out a lot with that. And it's all about the agency owners, right? It's all about bringing the tools and that sounding board and the advice, the real world shit that works, right? Not no BS, right? So, but the real world shit that works. And that's what I've been doing. That's what we do, right? So that's what Nick and I do. Well, Nick's been killing it with his agency. My non-compete's up. So I've been entertaining the idea of jumping back out there, and we'll see how that goes. When people start throwing money at you, you're like, dude, I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but love what I do. I got marketingagencycoach.com, and it's got all kind of cool resources and stuff on there. And today we're going to talk about a sales and marketing system that's built specifically for digital agencies. And oh man, one of the things I do. They don't have.
I love your systems, because this is so much more, guys. Like, I share a lot of prospecting strategies, how to run calls, do that type of stuff. This thing, I can only imagine, because in seeing Lee's stuff, this is probably built for the next 2 years in order to have people coming in and attracting.
100%. You hit the nail on the head, dude. You hit the nail on the head.
So I'm super excited, guys. When you jump on, say what's up below. Let us know that you are here. When you got questions, use them, guys. As you said, or as you heard, Lee built and sold an agency in 2016. He's incredibly sharp with all this type of stuff. And it's really, really in depth, what I'm sure we're about to see, because I've seen some of these presentations. So let us know what questions you guys have. And with that, Lee, let's jump in on how to get, agency and marketing stuff. I can promise you guys, this is going to be different than some of the stuff you see out there in regards to cold email and sending some of that. I would imagine it's going to be a full-blown system to get people in, warm, and all that. So Lee, with that, I'll turn it over to you, man.
Okay, well, right before I dive up into that, I'm going to share my screen here in a second. And I got a presentation. Right before I do that, how can I share this to my group? I got a Facebook group that whatever. Can I share this to my group too, Nick?
I think I
know you and we're going to be doing another one later over there, which is super cool. I mean, might as well get both of us some exposure, right? So I don't even know. And again, we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. If you can make me the host, I think if I can do it if you can make me a presenter real quick.
Let me see here.
At that point, I think I can kick it over there too. If not, again, we'll dive off into it. No big deal. But
all right, I think I can share it right here. Let's see here. Share in a group. All right, and your group is marketing?
Marketing Agency Success Group.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, cool. You got it. Awesome. Very cool. Let me get the presentation up here. All right. So let me.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about how to build a system to get new clients here.
Cool.
And let's see here. We should be live in the Marketing Agency Success Group. We're good.
Sweet. All right, everybody, get ready. Okay, so let me switch screens here because I am looking at the wrong screen. Hold up, swap displays here. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a sales and marketing automated. I got the word automated in there, and it is to a large degree automated. But I have found, and I'm sure a lot of you have found out there, automation is not going to close the deals for you as much as we wish they would, as much as all the so-called ninja gurus say that they do. Complete fucking bullshit. Oh, sorry. Right after the 4th of July, I'm dropping that bomb. Anyway, whatever.
It's okay.
It's complete bullshit. If you haven't figured out that it's total bullshit, then let me enlighten Nick. Tell them it's bullshit. So what you do is you get these leads, man, you got to drop them into a system, right? Okay, and the reality is most people in the creator space, they'll get a lead, and this is what happens. They'll pick up their phone. They got a business card. I might act like my little checkbook here. Get a business card. I pick up the phone. I call them once. maybe call them twice, maybe send an email, maybe send a text, whatever. And then I tell myself this, because I'm so cool. I tell myself this, well, if they really want my services, they'll call me. They'll reach back out to me. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is not true, okay? It will work in some of the cases, but the reality is that life happens, okay? They got busy, okay? Their kid, like for example, my little girl's at a week-long camp this week, and I found out today that I got to be somewhere at 11 in the morning, and just life happens, you know. So I haven't having to reschedule appointments and all this stuff tomorrow, and so whatever. People get sick. Nick's got a hell of a sinus infection right now, so we're talking about nasal corp. So again, my point is that life happens, and not everybody has time to make that follow-up call. And most importantly, they get really, really busy and forget. I mean, they forget how awesome you are, and you need to remind them. That is where your sales and marketing systems come into play, okay? So we're going to dive off on this, and I'm going to go through this in great detail. I'm going to show you exactly how this is. And this is built specifically for digital agencies. This is 100% built for agencies. I started coaching agencies about 2 years ago, I think right around that time. I think it was about 2 years ago. And I have to admit, I was a little bit blown away. And Nick, maybe you can give me a little bit of feedback on this, but as brilliant as digital agencies are and creative agencies are at doing the stuff for their clients, they're equally as inept at doing it for themselves. And it's not because they can't do it or they don't have the skills to do it. It's because the cobbler's daughter syndrome, okay? We don't have the time. We're making money to feed our family. We're making money to push our agency forward. We have not had the time to build out these kind of systems. And Nick, as you know, when you get a little bit bigger, okay, without having these kind of systems in place, what happens?
You're screwed.
You're screwed.
Absolutely need to be selling. It is kind of conundrum that there's so many agencies out there that can get so many results, but they don't know how to generate leads inbound. They don't know how to get people set up for them, right? They don't have a predictable process to close. They live on referrals, and they have no idea when it's going to be coming in. So it's absolutely critical that you get to this point, especially as you start to grow a little bit. You know, at the beginning, right, you got to go outbound, you got to hit the market, you got to hit the streets. But as you grow, you really need to start building these things in. So that's why I'm super excited to see, you know, what you share with us today, because I know that you go really in depth on this stuff.
Totally. Okay. So no doubt about it. And so once you get out of that survival mode, okay, is whenever systems start to come into play. And truth be told, systems can save you from being in the survival mode. So if you're in that survival mode, this thing can save you from that. But this is definitely how you go to the next level. This is how you put that extra comma in the club. Okay. As Nick already got, I think, what, the 2-comma club, 3-comma, not a 3-comma club, the 2-comma club.
No, we're going for 8 figures. We're going for the X club this year, but no, we're just in the 2-comma this time, a couple times.
You're going to get that shit. Okay. So, all right. First, who am I and why am I on this Facebook Live? Why is Nick, and other than my absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous bald head. Why did Nick ask me on here? Okay, so me, again, I built, retired from, and sold a multi-million-dollar agency by the time I was 43. Again, this is 2 years ago. That agency was a wild success by just about everybody's standards. You know, Entrepreneur Magazine, Top Company Culture, is an Elite Business of the Year finalist. We didn't win. 2 out of the 3, one of them was us, one of them was our client, and then another company. Out of about 130,000 subscribers to the Infusionsoft ecosystem, we were the top 3 elite businesses out of that whole ecosystem. So I was very proud of that. Lead country for the entire country of Fiji. That was a big deal. Helped increase the total GDP of a country. Country's about the size of Delaware, so it's not huge, but still super cool. Guerrilla Marketing Master Trainer, Partner of the Year for a couple of years, just all kind of different awards. That's why I'm on the phone here, is because I've been there, done it. I didn't read this shit in a book, although I do read it, obviously. But I mean, I didn't read it in a book. I learned this stuff. I rolled up my sleeves, okay? And I learned this stuff the hard way. I got the right mentors. I got the right advice. I got the right coaches. I got the right systems, and it turned out wonderful. Again, so it just turned out wonderful. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm here to show you some of the stuff I'll show you today is we used a little bit of it in my first agency. A lot of it is come from my experience of applying my 14, 15 years of experience in running an agency to the coaching industry. And I'm marrying the two to get the best possible systems and solutions out there. Same thing Nick's doing. Okay, we're both on a mission to help as many people live the quality of life that honestly that I feel like they deserve. You know what I mean? I have bought into the American dream, hook, line, and sinker, and I don't care if you're an American or not. I feel like everybody should have that right as a human being. So it's just a wonderful thing. Okay, so now I'm positive that everybody in this call is familiar with this one, automated sales funnels, or maybe this one. automated evergreen webinars. You know, how many of, raise your hand if there's anybody in this call who has not heard of one of those two, or maybe this one, okay? You know, I'm sure most of you have heard terms like lifecycle marketing, and if you haven't noticed, I move fast, so get ready, okay? Because I'm about to throw down on this stuff, okay? So now basically, I mean, and again, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of lifecycle marketing, lifestyle, my little slides are not, hold on a second. There we go. Okay, customer lifecycle journey. I think that's the big one that digital marketer is using right now. Or maybe this is the one that I heard, and before all these new sexy terms came out in the last few years, it's called client path. My marketing mentor, J. Conrad Levinson, the father of guerrilla marketing, taught me. He literally, we were both drunk over dinner one night, and he was like, "Hey, client path." I'm like, whoa, slow down. What the hell is that? Well, and what that is something like this. A lot of you have probably seen this. This actually came from Infusionsoft. It's a pretty popular thing. It's floating all out there all over the interwebs and stuff, you know. And most of the time it boils down to they'll tell you all this fancy stuff. You know, you got to attract interest and capture leads and all these little buzzwords, nurture prospects and convert and upsell and deliver overwhelming value and wow. And I'm like, shut up, duh. You know what I mean? Like, duh. We all like, duh. Okay. So I have a question for you though. You know, like we all see this. And we all know that it works. We all know that this is the right type of system we need, right? Nick, I mean, you would agree. I mean, to have a sales system that takes that gets the traffic, captures it, nurtures it, converts it, and does all this is obviously what every agency, every business in the world needs, right?
Yeah.
It fits, right? So my question to you guys is,
you know, hey Lee, really quick, man. I think that can you swap your displays?
Yeah. What are you seeing?
Let's swap them so we can see it. So it'll be a little easier. Yeah, because we got the notes panel up. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, there we go.
I got them backwards. My bad. Okay, so again, why is it that we all see the value in a system like this, right? I mean, I don't think anybody in this call or anybody that's ever built a business would ever argue the value of having a system that attracts, captures, nurtures, converts, and all that. But the reality is that none of you have a system like this. And why is that? Like, why is it that you don't have a system that can predictably and reliably generate sales? Why? Nick, why? Why don't people have systems like this?
Because it takes a while to set up. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Not sure how to build it. Struggling to reach, B2B anyways. Not enough focus on sales to begin with. Yeah, lots and lots of those reasons.
Oh my gosh, too expensive to set up. You hit the nail on the head, man. It's too confusing, man. I don't have time for this shit, right? The stuff it's for big business. I don't need it for my small business. Again, who has the time, man? I got family, I got kids, I got employees. I'm trying to close business. I'm trying to get shit done. And a lot of us don't even know how to do it. Again, I know that a lot of people running agencies out there are wonderful at the creative and the programming side, but I have to admit they just don't quite understand the psychology of the sale. And I'm here to tell you, without the psychology understanding intimately, or having a system that understands intimately what's called the psychology of the sale, it's going to be difficult to grow your agency. So if you're out there and you're wanting to grow your agency, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to listen up. You need to dive into this stuff. It's absolutely critical. So let's dive off into this. All right. So in the presentation today, what I'm going to show you is exactly how to overcome all of these objections. All right. And, excuse me, and how to build a sales system that combines the perfect balance between automation and the human touch. Because again, I'm a big fan of automation. I built my entire first agency around it, but to take the human touch out of this thing is it's suicide. You can't do it. Okay. It's suicide. Okay. This system that I'm about to show you, man, it comes complete with advanced KPIs, like what you're seeing on the screen right here. This is actually physically my KPI dashboard for my agency coaching business. And I'll show this to you in real time here in just a little bit. So you got to know lead source ROI, sales stage pipelines. You see all this stuff on the screen here. Active clients up here, active monthly subscriptions, sales pipelines, lead source, gross revenues, return on ad spends, and more. Okay. So it is also guaranteed, and this is the big thing here, it is guaranteed to eliminate follow-up failure. It is extremely simple to set up. Almost always can be 100% customized and set up in less than 30 days. Unbelievably easy to use and manage. It's going to automate the time-sucking tasks, like follow-up emails, scheduling follow-up tasks, okay? And so in this presentation, I'm going to give specific examples and specific tools in this agency sales and marketing system as we go through this presentation. And again, Everything that I'm about to show you, it takes you less than 30 days, okay, to set this up, get it in place, and have it 100% functional. That means your lead magnets, your copy, your sales pipeline, everything, your revenue tracking and everything. It's all done in here. So with that being said, let's dive off into this, okay? How do you go about building a system that's going to logically guide your prospects from the start of a relationship, right, to the mutually agreed upon decision? In other words, when the light bulb goes off in their head after they've started it, gone through the maze of BS that every other people out there are saying, click this button, magic money buttons, all these different things. Here's the magic money button right here. Okay, turn left. Okay, and then here it is. But ultimately, they're going to end up to making a very mutually beneficial and logical decision on hiring your agency. How do you do that? How do you go about doing that? Well, if you're anything like me, dumbify the hell out of it, okay? And I mean a big way. Dumbify the ever-living Hades out of it. Make it as simple as freaking possible. That's where we go wrong, people. We try to do everything perfect. We try to do everything like where it's 100% automated or all these little bells and whistles. No, 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 no. Start with a dumbified, stupid, simple system. Make sure it's working. When you know it's working, you take it to the next level. Okay, the reality is this. At the end of the day, the overwhelming majority of agency owners need 4 basic things. They need to get leads. They need to nurture the leads. They need to establish a rapport, a personal rapport. Picking up the damn phone and calling, hey, how you doing? Your little girl healthy? Is your little girl that can't? Nick, do you need some Nasacort? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know what I mean? That there is no, Nick, I cannot give you a helpful tip of Nasacort via an email. That takes me being on a phone call with you, and that's personal, and that's how you establish rapport. Then you need to understand your profit. Okay, so again, dumbify it. You need to get the damn leads. You need to nurture them. You need to establish a personal connection, a rapport, and you need to know where the hell your money's coming from. That is 99.99% of agencies and business owners and professional services businesses. That's all they really, really need. They don't need all these upsell campaigns because they don't got shit to upsell, dude. They're professional services, right? I mean, the reality is they're not selling an info product. You're not selling an info product. You're selling, if you're smart, you've productized, and you have packages you're selling, but that's still going to be thousands of dollars, or it's going to be a commitment, a monetary, bigger financial commitment that's going to require a rapport and getting on the phone. The whole funnel around like the info product marketing kind of stuff, the shit doesn't work for agencies, man. I'm telling you, it does not work for agencies. Nick, you would agree with that. You can have a component of that on the front end. The freemium, the lead magnet piece, right? That part works. Duh. But from that point forward, the psychology of the sale and what your intent to do with these leads is freaking bipolar different than anything info world. So if you see something out there on the web that's telling you how to do this and how they made millions and all these different things, it worked for them because it's info and they got a $7 product or a $77 course. It's not going to work for the agency. So these are the 4 things that the overwhelming percentage of all agency owners need right here. Let's start with getting leads. So I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember or even keep up with this kind of stuff, but way back in the day, President Bush went over to Iraq to speak to a group of Iraqi reporters. And in that meeting, this guy took a shoe off and threw it at him. You remember that, Nick? You old enough to remember that? I mean, this was like 10 years ago.
I don't, man.
All right, so it's pretty funny. So this is my throw the shoe kind of moment in the presentation. So typically, when I say this and I'm speaking live, thank goodness it's Facebook Live, so I can't somebody can throw a shoe at me. But if I'm speaking live, this is when I get ready for people to duck, because here's what happens. The truth is 95% of you are getting more leads than you need to grow your business. Yep. You're not doing anything with them. You hear me out. Here, listen to me. I'm getting a little closer. You ready? You are getting enough leads. I know you're telling yourself that you're not, but the reality is you are. And I know you are because I've been there and I've done that. And at this point is whenever most of you are saying, this guy's freaking nuts. Why the hell did Nick invite an asshole on here to tell me that I'm failing? Why did he tell me to do that? Well, the reality is that if you focus on harvesting the leads, what I call lead harvesting, okay, you will see that the vast majority of you'll get a business card. Again, make that phone call, that 1 or 2 phone calls, or send 1 email, and then that business card goes into the trash, a shoebox, it goes away, basically. A lot of you is sitting up under your second monitor in a stack of cards about this big. That's actually where most of the time it resides, in a stack up under your monitor, and they're sitting there in front of you the whole time, and you never do anything with them because you're too busy, okay? So now what you do is you got to stop that. Okay, and most of the time what happens is this. Whenever you need sales, you start running around your damn office like, oh my God, my hair's on fire. I can't get any leads. What am I going to do to get more sales? Oh my God, well, it's because you gave up on your damn prospects too fast. And if you'd been harvesting leads properly and nurturing them properly, you'd have a database full of leads. And any single time you ever need sales, okay, you can send out an email blast, you can do a Facebook bot blast, you can pick up the damn phone and start making phone calls, and you'll never, ever, ever, ever have a problem getting business in the door again, right, Nick?
Yeah, man, and I love it because so many people aren't going to have. So I want everyone to be watching this because this is a longer-term play, but it's so important in regards to harvesting, nurturing, follow-up, everything. Because everyone's always asking, how do I get more leads? Well, there's leads everywhere. Every time you can go to everywhere is there leads. So I love it. I'm excited to see more about what you got here because this is a new approach, a little different than what's typically out there and taught and talked about.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a long game. So, okay, let me talk about the peaks and valleys. Everybody talks about you don't talk about sales. Oh my God, it's feast or famine. Okay, so we are either our hair on fire trying to get sales, or we're cashing checks and feeling like a big dog. Right? There's almost only between on the agency owners. Okay, well, this is how you stop those emotional peaks and valleys. It does take about 90 days for this system to kind of kick in and start to take effect, okay? You have to put in 1 or 2 leads a day, or 5 to 7 a week. And that might sound like a lot, but it's really not. If you go to 1 event a week, I guarantee you there will be 5 to 7. No doubt about it. Let me show you. You got to reframe the hair on the fire syndrome, right? So first, again, every time you get somebody's business card in the past, you'd most likely take it and put it, again, call them or whatever, and put it up under your monitor or throw it in a shoebox or whatever the hell you're doing. But now what you need to do is you need to take a photo of that, and you need to apply a tag for every single one of them. Even if they're not a hot spot, even if they told you that, you know what, I don't have a need for digital marketing right now. You know they will down the road. Put them in there and send them high value content. Don't spam them. Send them good shit. High value, above the line, integrity based, high value content. So most CRMs nowadays, I think, does ClickFunnels have this? I'm not sure. Most of them have the ability to take a photo of a business card. They'll transcribe the damn thing and put it into your CRM, and boom, all you do is apply a tag. All you do is apply a tag, one tag. It takes 30 seconds, not even that, 5 seconds. All the automation is automatically set up. All the KPIs are all set up. All the pipeline stages all set up. Your first scheduled call is scheduled, okay? And whatever else you want done. If you want to send a text to them saying, hey, thank you very much for getting in my database, no problem. Easily done, okay? Now, the next thing is this. People have a lot of agencies have offices with phone numbers, believe it or not. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but they really do. And the reality is they get phone calls. They do. I can't believe it. But they don't put them into a damn form. Every single successful company you've ever called, before they can even get you to the department to help you, what do, Nick? I need to ask you a few questions first.
Yeah, they pull you up and they got you listed there. They know exactly who you are, their last notes, the last time you've talked to them, what they've said, everything.
Everything. And if you are not in there, what do?
They add you immediately.
Immediately. There is not a single individual that ever comes in contact with successful companies that their number one mission in life, right out of the fucking gate, is to confirm that they're in the CRM and they're receiving marketing information. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, without fail. Every single successful company. Yours must do the same thing. You must do the same damn thing, okay? Then another one is text to lead. People love this. Okay, let's say you're working in a local area, okay, which I'm a big fan of, more industry niching out, not local niching out. But hey, it can work, okay? So with that being said, look, buddy, those baseball fields with the big 4x8 plywood on the back, text, leads to this number to learn more about marketing. I'm telling you, you will get a ton of leads that way. Cost you about $500 for the year. Maybe a little more, depending on how big the hospital is. But these things work. Put them on park benches. Put them on billboards. put it on the radio, put it on the backfield at the football, community outreach, whatever it is. If you do very, very, very minimal lead harvesting efforts, you can easily get 5 to 7 leads a week off of what you're already doing. And then you do that for 90 days. And what happens is this: the business owner with the biggest database is going to win the game. Yep. It's that simple. It's that simple. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong.
Always.
Huh? Always.
People literally just pay for data. That's where it all comes down to. Get them into a funnel that's constantly churning, hitting them. Get them in. Doesn't matter where you get them. Hell, you can go scrape directories online and put them in and just start emailing them, get them in your database that way too. There's so many things you could do. Yeah.
Now, I'll keep the cold emails and the gray hat stuff. I don't know. That's going to come back to bite you after you get to a certain size. And Nick, you're starting to get to that size, so you're going to have to start, talking about.
I always tell them, just like I tell my CPAs, I'm okay in playing in the gray area. If I can get that Donald Trump tax breaks, I'm good, man.
I'm with you. I live in the gray area, man. Yeah. I live in the.
But I hear you. I hear you for sure.
Definitely so. And so again, successful companies understand the value of lead harvesting. They understand the value of having very simple systems like this in place. This stuff that I'm talking about, this is what the Fortune 500 companies do. This stuff was not available to small business owners until a few years ago. And most people have not shifted their mindset to harvesting leads because it's easy now. They're still of the mindset they have to get a lead, find out, qualify it. Only if it's hot, do I even schedule a meeting? Don't waste my time. But see, all that's going away now. Now it's all about letting the systems do it. It's actually easy. And at that point, it's your job to go out there and harvest as many leads as you possibly can. Okay. So, let's look at manual versus automation. Okay. You'll see that let's hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so you got to have the automation piece in there, but don't take the manual out, okay? It is absolutely critical, okay? And whenever you start to automate your actual leads and you actually automate the lead harvesting of those leads, you very much have to kind of reprogram how you get those leads. So now it used to be in the past, when it was manual in the past, it was a pain in the butt, man. You had to go physically type in all the stuff in the CRM. It took forever, so you didn't do it. Now it's not that way. It's super easy. So kind of just reprogram your brain from manual to automation of harvesting leads and focus on getting all of those leads in the system as much as possible, okay? The next thing is, again, nurture the leads, right? The relationships that mean the most to you, you nurture and you cherish, right, Nick? Here's probably the best example of it right here. For example, your spouse. If you do not call or talk to your spouse for a month, when you do call them and talk to them, if they pick up the phone, think it's going to be a positive outcome? What do you think is going to happen then, Nick? I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be a happy ending. That's not going to be. That's not going to be no bueno. Okay, so that applies to all your prospects too. Your prospects are identical, man. They're identical. They expect you to nurture them and follow up with them because you're the company trying to take their money. Duh. Okay.
And I would bet that most people on this call don't have a good nurturing system. Like, this is something that, guys, that it needs to come into play as you get bigger, as Lee's been saying. I know a lot of people are probably in a direct cold outreach stage trying to get their first couple of clients, but really starting to think about this, and even starting to apply this if you're early is going to be huge. Having email follow-ups, having, things go into play, because the fortune's in the follow-up every single time we send stuff to our list that we've generated through lead magnets and webinars and doing it legitly. We end up getting schedules and sales. So having something like this built out is absolutely massive. So it's something that not enough people do. So it's something you got to be aware of. If you're not ready for it yet, you at least got to be aware of this, because it does take nurturing and it can be built up. Just because someone says no, that can mean no right now. It doesn't mean no for later.
You hit the nail on the head. As a matter of fact, a little story on that. My marketing mentor taught me a simple formula that I feel like it really drives that point home. And so at any given time, let's say 100% of your target audience. At any given time, only 4% of your target audience is actually what's called the buy mode, meaning they're going to make a decision in the next 30 days. They're going to hire somebody. They're going to pay somebody some money in the next 30 days. Okay. Now, there's another 4% right behind that. Okay. There's another 4% right behind that. That's kind of in what we call like the in-depth, kind of like the research phase, the more advanced research phase, right? So that means they're going to be making a decision probably between 30 to 90 days, maybe 30 to 120 days. They're starting to come out of the tire kicking phase. They're in that research phase. They're kind of starting to narrow it down. They're getting into these specific details of their personal buying criteria. Makes sense, right? So, I mean, that makes perfect sense. It typically makes perfect sense there. Now, right behind that is the other 92%, right? We got 4% in buy mode, 4% in research mode, and then we got 92% behind that. Everybody, including me for a long time, and probably including you, totally didn't even give any credits or any time or any money into that 92% because it was too hard. Why would we go waste our time on people who aren't even in the research phase? Why would we do that? That's stupid, right? Well, now it's not. The name of the game and what AOL and all the big boys, AOL still cashing checks from back whenever they blew us up with all the disk and crap way back in the day, okay? And they're still cashing checks, okay? Because they went after that 92%. That was their branding strategy. They went after that 92%. They got as many of them as possible in their marketing efforts. The more you can harvest and nurture leads out of that 92%, the more successful your business will be and the lower it will cost to acquire new clients. So every person that you run across, you give them an elevator spiel. I do digital marketing for underwater basket weaving clients in California. Whatever the hell it is. I don't care what it is. If you're listening to Nick and me, you're niched out. So you tell them, I do whatever the hell it is. I do digital marketing for architects, okay? I do digital marketing for whatever the hell it is. And they're saying like, oh, man, that is awesome. You know what? I got a buddy of mine that's an architect. Okay, great, man. You got a card? I'll put you in my systems. We'll get you going. If they say, oh, yeah, I don't know. I've never used digital marketing. I'm never ever going to use digital marketing. You tell them, okay, totally understand. I'll tell you what, we got a top 10 checklist of the 10 easiest things to do for digital marketing. They're free. They're easy. Not going to cost you a dime. What do you think? Okay, sure. What the hell? Put me on there. And all you do is just, get like 3 or 4 sexy little lead magnet free things. Everybody loves free shit. If it's free, it's for me. Everybody loves them. Okay. So give them the free lead magnets, put them in there, let your systems determine. They'll bubble up. Okay. So it's wonderful. Focus on that 92%. Now, after you get those leads in the database, at that point, when somebody comes out and raises their hand, I can stop it, and they raise their hand. So you've harvested a lead. You nurtured this lead into a hot prospect that says, yo, I'm ready to talk. This is whenever the personal rapport comes into place. It's time to close the deal. All right. This is where the sales pipeline comes into play. Okay. Most agencies do not have any assimilation at all of any type of sales pipeline. Okay. So for a sales and marketing system to be successful in the digital agency space, it must have an unbelievably stupid, simple, idiot, friendly, dumbified sales pipeline to use. If not, it won't get used. It won't happen. You get too busy, okay? It must have an easy-to-use process that helps the sales reps manage the hot prospects and for leadership to hold the sales department accountable and in alignment with their service department. Okay, the key words here are easy to use. A lot of pipelines are too complex and take more time to manage the pipeline than it does to manage the actual freaking relationship. So, which is why it's got to be very, very stupid, simple, idiot to use. Now, in the past, again, it took forever to manage the pipeline itself. So, what is different about this pipeline, Nick? Why is this one different than the one you're going to run into in like Salesforce or whatever? Why is this one different? Okay, and don't even get me started on Salesforce. But anyway.
Oh yeah, Salesforce is a lot of fun. Millions of dollars to set up, confusing as hell. Definitely not what people want to get started on here in the agency world.
No, definitely no bueno. So, well, the difference is it's called pipeline automation. See, I mean, it legit is a game changer. Okay, and truth is, most CRMs don't have this. Okay, to my knowledge, does ClickFunnels even have a pipeline, sales pipeline? That's not a slight. ClickFunnels does something totally different. They do landing pages and everything. They do a phenomenal.
Yeah, I think they're actually working on a CRM though. I think it's kind of in discussions in the back end there from some people who are in their private.
Yeah, I've been hearing some rumors about that. It's called something else. I can't remember. They're even looking at investing in. So anyway, point being is this. In your CRM, you got to have what's called a pipeline, sales pipeline. And in my systems, the system I'm showing you here is this pipeline has automation. So what happens is it takes care of all the time sucking tasks. I told you at the very beginning of this, I'm going to show you how to automate. Then the schedule up, dude, you make a phone call, then you got to send an email. You got to update the sales pipeline. Then you got to go to calendar, send an invite. You got to do all this just to make a phone call. If they don't pick up, it's 5 to 7 minutes. It's ridiculous. You can't survive that way, right? So in this case, man, you just hit the drop down, move it to the next deal, and it's done. Okay. And here's what it looks like. Okay. I'm sorry. This is what we can do. With pipeline triggers, I can now trigger specific automated tasks that will save a ton of time. And it's also going to deliver a hell of a lot more rewarding and value-based experience for your prospect. Okay. Now, one of the wonderful things about this type of system is that it allows you to customize the experience based upon your target audience, which is awesome. So if you want a automated task, so for example, if you're in the sales pipeline and whenever you move it from one stage to the next, you want to do 50 different things, you can do that. A lot of people, and I recommend to keep it kind of simple at first. Just keep it simple. Just dullify it. Just schedule the follow-up task and send an email. Just that's all you do for right now. Down the road, we can add a text. We can add a box of chocolates, roses. We can add whatever the hell you want to. I don't really care. We can literally add it in there. But start simple. Get buy-in from everybody in the agency. And most importantly, the owner, you, because if you ain't using it, ain't nobody else going to be using it. So in this particular situation, just because you can do automation in the pipeline phase doesn't mean you should. Keep it simple. And the whole point of this system is to dumbify it to where all you do is 3 things. Drop them in the top, customize emails, and track revenue, and you're done. It literally takes you 2 hours a week to do all of your follow-up and everything else because the system takes care of everything else. So now, after you've gotten the get leads, the nurture leads, and the rapport, now you got to understand where your profit's coming from. Okay? This is where, truth be told, most business owners, agency owners specifically, they fall a little short. And it's not because of lack of effort, but because it takes freaking ever, dude. It takes forever to harvest KPIs. Okay, and to be able to have a scalable business, you've got to have a scalable system that includes KPIs. And in my dumbified sales system, it's all done automatically and it's updated every 24 hours. So in the next few slides, I'm going to show you, give you some specific examples. So gross revenue, when my revenue comes in, how many transactions, how much was it, how much did they pay? Coaching and consulting revenue, how much would they pay? Monthly residuals, what service is it? Okay. And I'm not talking about just gross revenue. You have to know where it comes from. Again, the coaching and consulting, the individual course sales, okay? Packages, products, or courses that we're selling that lead to larger contracts. These are kind of like your tripwire kind of things that come into the basket, okay? You need to know about your monthly residual clients, your active residual clients. How many do you have? How much money is coming in? Have you lost one this month? Have you gained one this month? And all these different things. You can see here, I started my coaching as a service business to where it's like, Nick, one of the things I picked up on early was I have this program, Agency Blueprint, and it's 10 courses and all these tools. And they're like, dude, it's fucking awesome, but it's like drinking water out of a fire hose. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's always too much, right? And I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense. So I started a subscription service. It's called Coaching as a Service. And so I physically meet with them twice a month, whatever. And I prescribe courses and tools to them as we go through the growth process. And I started that program in January. And as you can see, it went from like, 3 or so right there to where now it's up to around 17 or 20 or whatever in the last 4 or 5 months, right? And it's a wonderful program. It's outstanding. But I got to know that's one of the bloodlines, one of the baselines. But that's the new blood kind of thing, right? Coming in the system. So I got to know that. Lead source. I got to know where my money's coming from. Okay, and you got to know. I mean, again, a lot of people perceive their money to come from areas that they don't even. They think it comes from over here, but the reality is it doesn't come from over there. And understanding where the lead source, where your money is coming from in as close to real time as possible is absolutely critical. Okay, and again, all of this stuff is all automatically done for you. And it's just, here are a couple of examples again. Google Maps has been paying off for us big time, big time. Or organic, the content marketing strategy has been paying off for us. Icon, PartnerCon, these different Facebook groups, different things like that, they're all starting to pay off for us. And so we're super happy about it. So, okay, now I've thrown a shit ton of information at you guys here in the past 35 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up real quick. Take about 5 minutes to give you a quick little wrap up, okay? Now, I've said this stuff is easy. And I said it all automatically updates. So let me explain what that actually looks like. What does this mean to you? How long and how much? Okay, so how long does it take to get this shit done, and how much is it going to cost to get this shit done? Right, Nick? That's ultimately what most people really want to know.
All that matters. Just tell me how much and how long. What do we got to do?
Exactly. Okay, so It takes less than a month to get a system like this set up. This is not a pitch webinar. I'm not going to have a special offer for you at the end of this thing. It is what it is. I'm not a big pitch guy. I'm a value guy, and hopefully, you can reach out, or if you ever make the mistake of getting in my systems, then I got you. Okay, so and there are 4 things that I need to basically get your input on. Okay, and those 4 things are going to be customizing the lead magnets. Okay, and a lot of times that looks like this. This is one of mine. I have a proposal checklist. So if you're doing proposals out there, this checklist is awesome. It kind of tells you don't screw this up, right? So, and so that we got to customize the lead magnets. Okay, after that we got to customize the emails. And to show you here, let me show you. We have the boilerplate copy right here. So it's all boilerplated, maybe. Let me scroll down here. And so you can kind of see how this would apply. So, hey, it looks like you're interested in whatever called lead magnet it is. Come to the right place to learn more. We spent over a decade in the industry learning the ins and outs, blah, 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 blah. And so all the boilerplate copy is all done in this 21 pages. Each page will have 3 or 4 emails on it. So you can imagine there's whatever. 100 90 to 100 emails, I guess, in here, all pre-done, professionally written, and all that fun stuff. And so we make it unbelievably easy. So we're going to customize the emails and get that stuff in place. And then after that, okay, we customize the sales pipeline. And then we train them on the sales pipeline. So not everybody's sales cycle is the same. Some people have packages that are $295, and if your sales cycle is more than 30 minutes, then you fail. Some people have packages that are, $15,000 upfront capital investment and $5,000 a month. It takes a little longer on that one. So we need to set up the sales pipeline a little bit different, right? So, but of course, it's all customized to the sales stage and automation triggers that best benefit your agency, right? Super simple, super easy. And then, of course, we got to track the progress. We got to actually, the last piece of the puzzle is the ability to close the loop. And this is where a lot of people get confused. And this is why I say this for the very last thing, meaning that basically a lot of you guys are putting leads into a CRM of some sorts or whatever, but you're not taking your revenue through it. You're not tracking the revenue through your sales and marketing system. So, for example, you got like QuickBooks or FreshBooks and all these different things. And just for the record, before everybody starts to freak the hell out there, I am not saying to get rid of those. Keep those in place. What I'm saying is just dumbify it and do this.
Yeah.
The dumbified aspect is this. Look, buddy, to manually enter a payment in 32 seconds on a rainy, bad day. It's actually more like 22 seconds. Nick timed it, okay? So that's how we got the 22 seconds, okay? So what you do is you come in here and you just manually put the amount and apply it to the actual client. 20 seconds. You're not actually taking the money. It's not going to go to your bank account. There's no other reason for it to close the loop on this system and get that pretty-ass KPI dashboard that I showed you earlier. That's all this is for. It takes, seriously, 10 seconds. Seriously, 10, 15, 20 seconds max. And if you do this one last little thing, this one last little dumbified step right here, all you do, customize a few lead magnets, customize a few emails, take about 30 minutes to train on the pipeline, manually data enter your revenue, and it pops out the other end looking like this. This is what it looks like in real time.
Love it, man.
Like freaking beast mode. So I come in here, I'm going to call this guy right here. Actually, I already lost this lead. Saw that right there. Lost this one. He is not ready right now, but whatever, new opportunity. This one right here is interested in the blueprint. This one's interested in coaching. So I'll be like, hey, yo, Tony, I want to go straight to the opportunity. I go right there, go straight to the contact record right there. So then I click this, boom. And all I do is I made a phone call and I'll make the drop down and I'll do whatever. From that point forward, automation takes care of everything. I'm done. I'm on to the next call. All I do is do this, click another name, phone call, drop down, save, close out, go to the next one. All of your calls for that day can be done in 15 to 30 minutes, unless you get them on the hook. Then if you get them on the hook, it's time to wrap them up, right? So that's the goal, right? The goal is to get them on the hook, right? So, but all of it can be done like that, lickety split. And if you do it, if you follow the process, if you follow the system, this pre-canned, easy to effing use system, you're going to close a hell of a lot more deals. You're going to get a hell of a lot more leads, and you'll have a crystal ball into exactly where all your money comes from, right here. Right.
Yeah, man, I love it. And guys, I don't want see. Here's the thing, and you notice how Lee says this is simple. It's easy to set up, even though it might seem like a lot to you. I promise you, once you start doing some of these things and you start building it out, it really does become simple. It's amazing how far you can go. So I encourage anybody not to be overwhelmed by this. Basically, the 4-step process is huge. You know, get the leads, nurture the leads, close leads, and track your revenue, right? Like, I mean, that's it. The biggest takeaway here is to really have, you know, there's lots of big takeaways, right? But a couple of the biggest ones that I want to talk about that I know a lot of people aren't doing is having a CRM, first of all. You know, Infusionsoft, it can be fantastic. There's a ton it can do. But even if you want to simplify it, you can even use something like Pipedrive. Pipedrive is very easy to use. Awesome. Yeah, having a CRM is critical. And then having some sort of follow-up process when you get emails and you get people in the door and you meet these things. I mean, it's really important. So many deals, I mean, we hear this all the time, but how often do we actually utilize this? Is, you know, they need to see our name 12, 15 times or whatever the number is these days before they buy. Right? And so if we're continually emailing to them, continually providing value, continually sending case studies over to people who get on our list, boom, these things, they will pop up. It's something to really look at implementing alongside your hardcore cold outreach, especially if you're just getting going. So, yeah, there's a ton of big stuff here, Lee. Every time I love when you come on, I always got some crazy automations, crazy systems going. But when you really break it down, it's really not that difficult. You just start with one thing at a time, right? You create a lead magnet in order to get emails. And then you connect that to a CRM. And then you write out your 20 email follow-up or 10. You don't even have to start with 20. You can start with 8.
Write them out. They're all written out for you. I mean, I'm not kidding. This is actually
there you go.
I'm going to be going to market. I don't really have it. I'm actually, by the way, I'm looking for some pilot users on this system. So you can get into it for really cheap, but you're going to be my guinea pig. And I need people to kind of, I've already sold this. Let me phrase it. I implemented it for my new business, and I've got some of my students are coming on board to be the pilot, but I need a couple of more on there. So if anybody wants to get in and test this thing out, it's freaking awesome. It's sexy. I love it.
There's a lot going on here, man. I love it. All right, man. Well, Lee, what else? I don't know if you're finished with that one there, but I know it's been about, an hour here. So what, any closing remarks, closing thoughts there in regards to, how to get this started, what to do, young agency owners, anything along those lines?
Closing thoughts would be, don't underestimate the value of getting help. Okay. So, guys like Nick and guys like me, we love what we do. It's legit. It's no bullshit. I mean, it's for real. Okay. Nick and I hit it off whenever the hell it was, a year and a half ago or whatever.
Yeah. It's been a bit now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a bit now, and it's because we have the same, kind of passion and drive and love for this industry, and we really do want to give back, and that's why we do this stuff, by the way. I'm not making any money off this call. I know Nick and either. We could be making money on another call, trust that. So and we do it because we love it, but get help, lean in, don't think you can do it all yourself, and the best investment you'll ever get is in getting continuing education. Absolutely, man. And all right, so Lee, the Marketing Success Agency Group, correct? If you want to drop a link to that below, I know people will be in for everything there. Tim's asking for a link to take a look at some of the emails, all that stuff. So go ahead, drop those here on the call. Yeah. Everybody, Lee, thank you so much for jumping on. I'm sure we'll have you back, man. And actually, I'll be in Lee's group in like 2 hours. We're talking about a different topic. We're kind of going back and forth here today. So hope everybody enjoyed that. Joe Dean, absolutely. We'll make sure you get into the free or our public bot, Joe Dean. And everybody else, I hope you guys have a wonderful day after 4th of July. And Lee, go ahead, drop those links afterwards, man. And hope everyone is doing great. We'll talk soon. We'll be back. Awesome. Yeah, I'll drop those links and I'll respond to everybody on Facebook, man. Thanks, guys. All right. Yep. Thanks.